Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Freelance Friday podcast. I was recently asked a very interesting question. Hey, Latasha, have you ever taken a course or joined a mastermind or paid for coaching? And if so, what did you learn from it? What do you think the benefits of enrolling in these programs are? And I thought it was a really interesting question that I feel like not a lot of people talk about. I actually think it's a form of scarcity mindset in this industry. Nobody really ever wants to talk about what's helped them get to where they are. And I think it's unfortunate, but I would be lying if I said that I don't participate in that to some extent. So I want to keep it real with you all today and share with you what has helped me in my journey as an entrepreneur. And also, more importantly, share some of the things that I think are most important to evaluating a quality course or program because the industry has changed a lot over the past few years. 2020, 2021, 2022, a lot of new online educators entered the space. And I don't want to disparage anyone, but I will say that a lot of junk entered the space as well, and it became a lot more saturated. So it can sometimes be hard to pick through and sift through the quality programs from the not so great ones. And this is my criteria. This is what I want to share with you. But first, let's take a second for today's episode sponsor, Found. Before we get into the rest of the episode, a quick word from our sponsor, Found. Ask any freelancer and they'll tell you there are two sides to every business. There's the stuff you love, the reason you get up in the morning, and then there's the stuff you hate, the things you put off for weeks or just keep you up at night. For me, that's bookkeeping and taxes, and that's where Found comes in. Found is business banking built specifically for the self-employed. It's one app that handles your banking, bookkeeping, taxes, and invoicing. All that annoying stuff you hate, Found makes it that much easier. Sign up for Found Business Banking and you'll see why they call it all-in-one. Found tracks your expenses and helps you find write-offs. It tracks your income and calculates your taxes. And Found automatically saves the right amount so you're not left scrambling at tax time. Even sign up is easy. It's free and takes just minutes. Plus, if you spend $100 with your Found card in the first 30 days, you'll get a $25 bonus in your account. There's no commitment. Try Found today and see what a difference it can make. Head to found.com/Latasha or use promo code Latasha to try Found today. Terms and conditions apply. Found is a financial technology company, not a bank. Found's banking services are provided by Piermont Bank, member FDIC. Remember, head to found.com/Latasha or use promo code Latasha to try Found today. The first thing that you need to know before you enroll in a course, a program, a mastermind, coaching program, for the sake of this episode, I'm just probably going to say course a lot, but keep in mind I use the same criteria for all of those other things as well. The first thing you need to really know and consider is your end goal. What is your desired outcome? Let's say that you are a coach and you are looking to improve your business. Well, that's the very broad objective, right? Do you specifically want to learn how to generate more leads for your coaching business? Do you want to learn how to create better content? And even within that gets a little tricky, right? Because do you want to create content to generate more leads? Do you want to create more YouTube content? Do you want to create more Instagram content? Do you want to create content that is going to be authoritative, meaning content that might position you as a leader in your space, an expert in your space, and maybe get you invites to speak on stages or get you a book deal, right? There are so many different objectives within just saying, I want to create more content, or even the lead generation thing. Do you want to generate leads inbound, outbound, all of that. So you want to make sure that you do have a good grasp on what your strengths and weaknesses are. For me, most of the courses that I have taken have been very specific skill courses. So for example, I took a course, HubSpot Inbounds course. That was one of the first courses I ever took because I wanted to learn about inbound marketing. Actually, one of my clients suggested it to me. At the time, I was a social media copywriter. That was like really my first kind of ongoing freelance social media gig. And at that time, I was writing for Twitter a lot. I was also writing blog posts, writing Facebook posts. That's kind of what was out at that point in time. And she suggested HubSpot Inbound because it would teach me that persuasive copywriting. It would teach me all about like funnels and all of that stuff. So I knew what I was writing for, really. And I found that to be really helpful. I do still recommend it. What was also cool about that program is it was a certificate program. And at the time, I remember, actually, I don't remember, I can't remember exactly what she said to me, my client, but she had told me that it was the number of people who had this certificate was pretty low. And so it would help me. I was still in college at the time. She said it would help me, when I went out to the job search or if I wanted to get more clients, because I could put it on my LinkedIn profile and it would look really good. So that's another nice to have. I wouldn't say that a certificate is a requirement. It depends on what you're trying to do, of course, but I do think it is nice if you want to kind of prove that you can do what you say you can do. It's nice to have. So yeah, make sure that you know your desired outcome. Now, if you are somebody who's completely new to a field, that's where a program like the Social Media Management Accelerator comes in. It is going to give you a bird's eye view of the social media management industry, the social media management job as a whole. So we cover a lot of different things. We talk about the workflow of a social media manager and kind of who you're going to be working with, different organizational structures that you might find yourself in. But we also talk about social media strategy and how to develop a strategy, which platforms you should be on, how to hone in on your client's target audience. We talk about some of the actual implementation. So building a content calendar, building a portfolio, using a scheduling tool, pulling reports, reading analytics, and then of course, wrapping up with next level stuff. So do you want to start an agency? Do you want to build a personal brand? How are you going to build your social media management business even further? So yeah, if your outcome is, I want to improve as a social media manager, or I want to get started, I want an introduction to this field, then of course SMMA is going to be a good fit for you. But if you're somebody who's nope, I just need an in-depth look at Google Analytics, then SMMA might not be the best fit for you, because Google Analytics is only one lesson out of dozens. So keep that in mind, know what your outcome, your desired outcome is, and what your ultimate goal is and what you're looking to get out of the course. The next thing that is really important to me is community. I've taken courses like HubSpot Inbound, which I'm not complaining because it's free. So I'm not going to say they do a terrible job of this, but that is what we call an evergreen self-paced course. You log on, you take it when you can. And something that was challenging for me about it, because it is actually kind of hard to pass that certification exam. Something that was hard for me about that course is that I found it difficult to be disciplined enough to take it because I wasn't being paid to take it. And so I just forget about it sometimes and, all of that. And community really helps. If you are somebody who struggles with motivation, is, easily discouraged maybe, or aren't we all, right? When you work for yourself or just has a lot going on, a community can be really helpful because that's a group of people who are cheering you on. That's a group of people who are holding you accountable gently and kindly, hopefully. And it's also great for collaboration. So this is the only mastermind I've ever paid for. It was put on by Hillary Rushford. She doesn't have the same community anymore, but I was in her business focused mastermind and I really loved it. And that was the first mastermind that I'd ever paid for. And I still talk to people from that first mastermind. I think I joined in 2020. What a time. We were supposed to have in-person meetups and all this stuff, and it got canceled the week before, we all know what happened. So that was a bummer, but even still, and obviously that wasn't Hillary's fault, just to clarify. But even still, just meeting people online, doing co-working sessions, having book clubs, having this community forum with all of these other women in business, I still talk to some of them today. Now, I didn't make a huge amount of connections because it was 2020 and a lot was going on, and I kind of just needed to hide my head under a hole somewhat when I was a part of that group. But I did make a few that were really strong. And, we have referred work to each other. We have collaborated on content together. We have been able to just be friends. And that's something that is very valuable in this space. Not a lot of people understand what I do, what you do probably. And so having genuine friendships that are not, there's no competition, there's no competition. There's no weird vibes. There's no jealousy. That is really, really rare. It's really rare to find friends that are at the same level of business as you. and all of that. So community is a huge piece, both for the accountability, but also for the friendship and connections. And this is something I definitely wanted to replicate with SMMA as well. I knew I didn't want to just create a course where people went through it on their own. I wanted to really facilitate those conversations. So as a part of SMMA, we do weekly calls, weekly group calls with me, but also they're an opportunity for you to get to know others in this industry. We also have a community forum. So it's like a message board basically, or kind of like a Facebook group. It's not a Facebook group, but that's the best way I can explain it. And we get to know each other. We do follow threads. We do updates on our work, updates on wins, updates on struggles. All of those things build friendships. And I've run 5 cohorts of SMMA so far, and it's been one of my favorite things is seeing how many relationships are developing and continuing past the course. I see it all the time on Instagram, people posting, oh, we met up in a country that's in between us, or, we are co-working, we're continuing to do co-working even after the calls. I see it all the time. And it just warms my little heart, I'm going to be honest. So that's a big piece that I would definitely look for. I also want to say really quickly on community, I think this is a must-have for what I would consider a high ticket or a mid-ticket product. So if you're paying over a few $100s for something, I think community is pretty important. Now, there are other courses that I offer and that many other people offer, like my social media management toolbox, for example. That doesn't have all the bells and whistles with it because people don't want it to. That is a template pack, meaning you buy it and you get instant access to templates and you can start using them right away. I'm not saying a digital product is a crap product if it doesn't include a community, but if you are specifically looking for a more immersive, more intensive program, I definitely think that is important. If you're shelling out, $500 or more, I think you should have some type of community or access to the instructor, which is next. I would say access to the instructor is also very important. Now, I get it. When you have a large platform, when you have a lot of students in a class, we can't expect our instructors to be personally, guiding us through the material every single day, being like at our beck and call. I get that. But I do think having some type of access to an instructor really does amplify the experience, because we as, course creators, as educators, we can try our best to guess what is going to be most helpful for people, what learning style most people are going to have, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, everybody's very different. And there are just going to be some things in a course that you struggle with, or that it's just not resonating for you, and that you need some clarification on, or you need it, described in a different way, or that you would like your work checked, or, there's just always going to be something like that. I took one course, I'm not going to name it because I don't want to disparage anyone, but I did take one course with a pretty large YouTuber. She owns a YouTube channel in business. And I was pretty disappointed by it because while we did have group calls with her, I felt like she wasn't responsive at all. And I get it. I am sure I've missed notifications. I am sure I've missed, emails. I am only human, right? I'm not trying to hold this person at a ridiculous standard. But I mean, we would get like, two questions answered on the live call. And then it would be like, okay, bye. And it kind of felt like they were reading from a script, and it just didn't feel very personal at all. And I'm somebody who I would have paid 4 times, probably up to 4 or 5 times what I paid for that course if the group was smaller, and or if she was able to make herself a little bit more available in the community or something, or just set proper expectations. I had a question in the chat of the Zoom and she said, hey, just email me. I'm going to give you more information on that. And then I emailed and then she never responded. So it's like, don't overpromise, just be honest about what level of service you're able to provide. And again, we're all human, so I'm not picking on this person. I still watch her YouTube channel all the time. She's great. Something that I really pride myself on in my course, specifically SMMA, is that I'm the only teacher. I do have a few guest lessons, which they're amazing. They're personal. I would consider them all personal friends, and some of them are former students. They're amazing. But those are just a few lessons out of dozens. For all of the live interaction, the community, all of that stuff, that's all me. And I take that seriously, not to say that I'm better than the guest instructors, absolutely not. They're amazing. or anybody else, but because people sign up because I'm selling it. I'm not going to pick on anyone, but I've taken other courses before too, where, the person selling it, like the YouTuber, isn't even teaching it. Maybe they pop in for one lesson or something like that. And I'm like, wait, I don't want to learn from this random person, for the entirety of the course, or have your community manager or be leading the live calls. I joined so I can talk to you, not to sound like a creep, but I did. So I think that's really important too. So make sure to ask, if you're looking to join any course, is there any type of interaction with you, the instructor? Is this taught by other instructors? Is this facilitated by a community manager, or are you actually on the live calls, etc.? And I know it's a hard standard to hold ourselves to as creators, but again, I think you can be honest about it. If it's not you and that works for you, great. Just be honest about it before people purchase, and set those expectations and maybe raise your rates. The other thing that I think is really important when evaluating a course or program is less about what's inside the course, but more about what's outside on the landing page, on the marketing materials, and that is social proof. Any course creator, educator who is worth their salt should be screaming. They should be hanging those glowing testimonials and reviews from the rooftop. Somebody who I think does a really great job of this, I've never taken any of her courses, full disclosure, so I don't know actually how good they are, but I think she does an amazing job with her personal branding and with testimonials and social proof, is Marie Forleo. I think she is really the blueprint for a lot of online education and course creators. I've certainly taken a lot of, inspiration and learnings from her strategy. So shout out to her, not endorsing any of her courses. I've never taken them, but she has a whole testimonials page on her website for, what is the course called? B-School, I think. And that's something that I'm looking to do in some of my downtime this summer. I've gotten so many amazing testimonials from SMA students in particular, and that's been amazing. I want to combine it all on a web page now so that I can just direct people there if they have questions. I've got a ton of videos, ton of, written responses, ton of survey results, all of that stuff. And I think that's really important. If you're looking at a course that has none of that, none, to me, that's a red flag because, and I know as maybe some of you are course creators yourself and you're thinking, well, I haven't run this. I haven't, taught this before. So how am I supposed to have any type of social proof yet? Well, my answer is do a beta run, do a condensed version of the course, turn it into a micro coaching program in exchange for a review, do something, at least have somebody look at the curriculum and give you feedback on it so that they will give you a testimonial. And I think if you really believe in what you're teaching, you're not going to have that scarcity mindset about, oh, well, I'm giving it away to one person for free. You need a testimonial to sell a course. No, you don't have to. Obviously, I know some people do it without it, but it really does set you apart and prove that you can do what you say you can do. So I did it for SMMA. I did a very, very affordable version of SMMA for the first run and collected some really amazing testimonials for it, which just helped make it easier both for potential students to figure out if it was right for them and for me to sell the next rounds of SMMA. So they should absolutely be on the website. Like I said, I think Marie does a great job of this, but if they're not on the website, they should also be able to give them to you, easily if you have a question about it. I have pulled up spreadsheets. I do surveys after every cohort of SMMA, and I actually document the results into spreadsheets. And so I have spreadsheets and spreadsheets. So if somebody is like, hey, has a, corporate finance person ever taken your course? I can actually Control F. Is that what it is? Yeah. Control F, search my spreadsheet for finance, corporate, and be like, here are the testimonials or here are the reviews from those people. I get in the weeds with it. So I'm always happy to do that. Anyone who has the data to back it up should be happy to share that stuff with you as well. And the last thing I'll say is kind of related, and it's kind of obvious, I like to think, but whoever's teaching the course or the program, you want to make sure that they have actually done the thing that they're teaching you how to do, that they have actually, or that they are actually in a position that you want to be in. Again, I know this sounds pretty obvious, but over the years, let's just say I have seen a lot of, I don't want to use the word copycat products, but I guess it already came out of my mouth, so I'll just say it. And, that's fine if people want to watch all of my videos and then make TikToks just recapping them and then selling their own products. But I implore you as the consumer to look into that, to ask those questions. Well, where did you learn, the tips that you're sharing? For me, most of it I learned on the job, actually doing the thing. And then of course, yes, I'd be happy to share with you that I learned a lot from HubSpot Inbound, from Hillary's course, from, other courses, other coaching programs, things like that. But a lot of it was on the job. I've had experience at lots of different types of businesses. Now, I'm not the most experienced in the world. I'm not going to claim that I'm this, guru. But yes, I've worked in the public sector, the private sector. I've worked at large companies, small businesses. I've had dozens and dozens of clients over the years. That is my advice. I don't want to take advice from somebody who just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and then made a course about it, or, is faking the funk, let's just say. So again, any creator, any course creator, any educator who is really about it will be happy to share a link to their LinkedIn or, recap some of their job experience for you. I don't take offense to that when people ask me that. I'm happy to share, what I've done, where I've worked, all of that kind of stuff, because it's important that we've really done the thing. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I really hope that this episode was helpful. And if you are in the market for a course to help you up-level your online business, your social media management career, any of that stuff, you can check out latashajames.com/courses. There's actually a quiz on that page that can help you decide which one is right for you. And if you know for sure the accelerator is going to be the one for you, just a reminder that this is your last weekend to enroll. I'd love to see you in there. We've got a really great community going already, really cool people in there. And I will leave a link for that in the show notes. Thanks again to Found for sponsoring today's episode, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.